So it's been a couple months since I posted a new video. Sorry about that. But I finally got in my content burnout rut and bring you the Halo 2 only dual wielding challenge. The rules are simple this time around, so let's go ahead and address them. There will be no melee, grenades, or vehicle weapons. I can only shoot while dual wielding. I must shoot both guns simultaneously, and it's on normal difficulty. Those are all the rules for this run, and just before we get started, I would like to show appreciation for Hyper for becoming a channel member. With that out of the way, let's get into the dual wielding madness. So like any typical run of Cairo Station, there's plenty of weapons lying about, so finding 2 weapons to dual wield was not really an issue. Besides, let us not forget that this was the game that introduced dual wielding, so of course more than half of the sandbox of weapons is dual wieldable. And again, since this is pretty much a typical run of Cairo Station, I breezed by every encounter without trouble. Sure, that's probably because I played on normal, but oh well, what you gonna do? After barely surviving my encounter at the elevator, I got to the bomb room, killed all the Covenant in there, and had a dual wield off with this elite major. I won, of course. Let's move on to the next level. And like any typical run of Outskirts, I performed the Rex sword skip, drop down to the Marines, and get my hands on a second SMG. After taking out the elites in this hallway, I ran to the ghost that's by this pelican and boosted to the tunnel and through the tunnel. Of course, being the speed demon that I am, I did beat this level in no time at all. Now it's time to breeze past my favorite level for the sake of speed. I jumped into the Warthog while abandoning my comrades for their safety, drove across the bridge while taking minimal damage, and once I left my Warthog, I ran past all the Covenant due to my lack of a second handheld. Once out of the tunnel, I kicked the Marine out of his Warthog and drove... Hey, move please. Hello, move please. That's fine, I suppose you can have that. Thanks to the help of my comrades, I was able to get dual plasma rifles, but unfortunately a Wraith was not having my shit today. You know what? I'm gonna try to get my Warthog back to give to my... Nope, never mind. Free vehicle for you, Mr. Elite. Once I got back to the battlefield, I took over the driver's seat of another Warthog and let my Marine be the gunner. Hey, as long as I'm not shooting, it counts, right? I don't know what the actual answer to that is, so I'm just gonna move on to the Scarab section. Due to a shortage of dual-wield weapons on the balcony here, I dropped my SMG for a battle rifle to dual-wield the weapons I already had in my arsenal. Reading that back, that was very poorly written. But once I got in the Scarab, I got dual plasma rifles and melted through the rest of the Covenant and took down the Scarab. The start of this level was not too bad because I found another dual wieldable weapon right away and booked it to the elevator. I pushed the button to let my allies in and then let loose on any stragglers. After me and my allies killed all the heretics, I made my way through the halls, passing by any more heretics I saw along the way. When I got to the Banshee section, I had no way to kill any of the Covenant because I didn't have another dual wieldable weapon. So instead I flew around, went back and picked up a new Banshee, and when I flew back, the door was magically open, so I walked through hoping the next level would start. And thankfully, it did. Just gonna say it here now, but I hate this level, and I don't like talking about it whenever it comes to a new video. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it short and sweet. The elevator section was long but easy and possible with dual wielding. Then this firefight section here was prolonged but also possible. I eventually cut down the cables to the station, caught back up with the heretic leader, and made a very fine example of him. While it is one of my favorite levels, it happens to be one of the shorter ones. I had no trouble finding another dual-wieldable weapon because they were lying all over the place. While using a ghost, I sped through the level until I got to the Jackal Sniper section, but even that wasn't a problem. In no time at all, I got to the final section and killed the honor guards with ease. Ah, regrets. I regret to inform you that this level is painfully slow. This level was no different than all the others so far, but where this one differs is at the end. But we'll get to that in a moment. This level consisted of me melting away the opposition, abandoning my team, taking a few underwater elevator rides, and getting melted in return by jetpack elites. Now, as for the end of the level, the only thing that makes this one impossible to beat dual wield only is Regret's dumbass. Since he insists on sitting in his lazy boy, which has a few force fields I cannot shoot through, I had to get up and bleed him to a bloody pulp.
Take him out. There are honor guards all over this place. Watch your back.
Once I was done making an example out of him, the cutscene plays and Master Chief cannonballs into the water. Broken record quote of the video is definitely going to be, this level was easy, and I sped past everything. The only thing that posed a threat in this level was the never mind, who am I kidding, this level is mad easy. Literally this one enforcer died just because I unlocked all the gates and barriers and touched the elevator controls. The end of the level was another prolonged section of fighting until the game decided I was finished. So once the cutscene played, I was on to Quarantine Zone. The start of Sacred Icon Part 2 was a simple start. I just hopped into a ghost, fell down a pit, and ran through the level until I reached my favorite reoccurring joke spot. And it goes without saying, but this level was also possible only dual wield, and was a piece of cake, and I sped through it. Same old, same old. Halo 2 kind of has that problem. Alright, we finally reached a level that was somewhat challenging. After chatting with the living foreskin, I'm... Jesus fucking... I can't believe I wrote that. After chat... Okay. After chatting with the living... Jesus Christ. After Jesus. For Tristan... Okay. After chatting with the living foreskin, I am teleported to High Charity. At first, I thought this beginning section... Ooh, that's way funnier than I intended it to be. At first, I thought this beginning section wasn't going to be possible, but there's a second needler just lying about, so that was very helpful. God, I'm still laughing with the fucking foreskin joke. After clearing out the council chambers using the brute plasma rifles... Why did I say chambers? There's one chamber. After clearing out the council chamber using the brute plasma rifles, I made my way through the holy city. Also, might I just say, I'm not a big fan of the Halo 2 brutes being absolute bullet sponges. But this level goes on like usual. I free my marine comrades with some resistance, make my way deeper into High Charity, avoid fights by walking on top of these high beams, and made it to the mausoleum of the Arbiter. I let the elites and brutes kill each other while I took out the hunters and made it to the end of the level with ease. And I actually do mean ease, the plasma rifles kind of just melted the hunters. Now, while I typically run straight through this level, I decided to deliberately kill as many brutes as possible for killing my elite brothers. But even with that task in mind, this level was still done in about 12 minutes time, so yeah, this was another easy one in the bag. Now here's Gravemind but extended. Get it? No? Okay. Jokes aside, this level was a runathon and I beat it in 6 minutes. Still possible only dual wield, might I just add. Thankfully the game kept my weapons from the last Arbiter level and I still had my dual brute plasma rifles. Even with those weapons in hand, taking out the race by this gate was a pain because of them feeling the need to make me into a Sangheili stew. But with some patience and determination, I was able to take out the lone brutes, then the wraith after. I rushed through the structure, freed my allies, got killed by said allies. Thanks for that. After freeing my allies again, I ran outside and freed the Marines and Johnson. After the cutscene played, I'd take out the race on the ground the same way I did the others, so that was a bit tedious. But eventually it was done and Johnson got to blow open the control room door. I snuck past these brutes and got ready to fight Tartar Sauce's spongy ass. In typical Tartarus boss fight fashion, he went down real easy and the game was beat while only dual wielding. Except for the exception of regret. But we don't regret, we don't mention regret. No, we don't do that. Sorry about the length of this video being so short. In the few months of me being gone, I fell out of my groove of making videos and didn't quite remember how I did them. Nonetheless, I do hope you enjoyed the video and feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I hope to be back at a more normal upload schedule, but I won't promise anything. But thank you all for watching and take care.